Hi students, welcome back to this video. Let us get started our new session with a positive card. Listen to this. The key to success is to start before you are ready. Okay, the topics to be covered in this session are hepatic portal circulation, pulse, heartbeat, blood pressure, tissue fluid, and lymphatic system. So we can begin with portal circulation. How does the simple nutrients absorbed into blood from the small intestine reaches to the heart? It is with the help of portal system. So what is portal system? It is the system of blood circulation in which portal veins are connected. Example, portal circulation. Then out of this, hepatic portal system. Actually, this portal system includes certain veins, carries blood from organ to organ. That is known as portal circulation. So portal circulation consists of certain vein that carries blood from organ to organ. Here, in this portal circulation, it begins from the small intestine. Capillaries in the intestine carries blood and it is carried by the hepatic portal vein. Then it reaches to the capillaries in the liver. Then it reaches to the liver. From there, again hepatic vein. It is connected to the vena cava. Through this vena cava, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, it reaches to the heart. So, portal system consists of veins that carries blood from organ to organ. So from small intestine to the liver. Why this nutrients reaches to the liver? Liver plays major role. The three important functions that converts excess glucose into glycogen and stores in the liver. And second one, that release energy from fatty acid. And the third one is that to produce cholesterol. So what do you mean by portal system? Portal system is the system of blood circulation in which portal veins are included. In the previous class, we have studied about the role of heart in the distribution of simple nutrients to all parts of the body. Next, it is through rhythmic heartbeats that the functioning of heart is made possible. Yes, heartbeat, pulse, blood pressure. What do you mean by heartbeat? The heart produces periodic sound, which is referred to as heartbeat. How do we say more scientifically? Heartbeat consists of one systole and subsequent diastole. So what is systole and what is diastole? For this heartbeat, it takes about 0.8 seconds. Systole means contraction of the chambers of the heart. During this time, blood flows from the atria to the ventricles and from ventricles to outside. Now what about the diastole? Along with the atria, the ventricle also relax. The stage of relaxation is called diastole. What about the average rate of heartbeat? That is 72 times per minute. Then the other term we are familiar with, that is pulse. When we consult a doctor, it's a practice that the doctor counts the pulse rate per minute. So, what is the pulse? Pulse is the wave-like movement formed due to the contraction and relaxation of heart. It is felt throughout the walls of the arteries. Then, which all parts of our body we can feel the pulse? The body parts where we can feel pulse are both sides of forehead, wrist, then sides of the neck. Then next is about blood pressure. Actually, that is blood pressure. About 70 milliliter of blood is pumped into the arteries every time the heart contracts. The pressure exerted by this excess blood on the walls of arteries is systolic pressure. That is known as systolic pressure. Actually, that is 120 mmHg. When the heart dilates fully, the same quantity of blood enters the heart. A low pressure is felt during this time. That is diastolic pressure. This is 80 mmHg. Then how do we say the rate of blood pressure? That is 120 bar 80 mmHg. That is 120 bar 80 mmHg. So 120 mmHg is systolic pressure and 80 mmHg is diastolic pressure. Do you know the apparatus which is used to measure blood pressure? Yes, that is sphygmomanometer. Nowadays, digital BP apparatus is also used. The next content is formation of tissue fluid and its importance. Have you heard about tissue fluid? From where it is produced and what is its role, etc. We have to study. See, we have understood how blood reaches different parts of the body and also how do cells get nutrients from blood. Here in this picture, you can see this part means these blood vessels are artery, and here you can see vein. In between, blood capillaries are there. Artery divides into form capillaries. Later, these capillaries join to form the vein. So, what happens when the blood flows through this capillary? When blood flows through the capillaries, the fluid part of blood oozes into intercellular spaces. This place is known as intercellular space. So that fluid is known as tissue fluid. Then what all things are present? It does not contain RBC, large protein molecules, and platelets. So exchange of materials takes place between the tissue fluid and cells. Takes place. Tissue fluid is absorbed into the blood and lymph capillaries. So once this tissue fluid reaches into the lymph capillaries, that is known as lymph. Or we can say that lymph is the this lymph is the tissue fluid inside the lymph capillaries. In order to understand this more detail, we can see the other diagram. With the help of this diagram, you'll be able to study more clearly. This is the lymph capillary. See, this is the lymph capillary. Once the tissue fluid reaches to the lymph capillary, it is known as the lymph. So here you can see the lymph. So that is present inside the lymph capillary. Okay. Then this tissue fluid reaches into the lymph capillary. That is known as the lymph. So here, when blood flows through the capillaries, some part oozes out into the intercellular spaces. So that fluid is known as tissue fluid. We have studied it does not contain RBCs, large protein molecules, and platelets, but it consists of glucose, oxygen, etc. It reaches to the cells or absorbed into the cells. Then, from the cells, the waste and the carbon dioxide reaches to the intercellular spaces. From there, it reaches to the blood capillaries. That is, tissue fluid flows back to capillaries. So, what is lymph? Lymph is the tissue fluid that reaches to the lymph capillary. Then, while studying about this lymph, we have studied the branches of the lymph capillaries are known as the lacteal. Then one more thing we have studied, lacteal absorbs fatty acids and glycerol from the villus. Then what about its movements? How this fatty acid and glycerol reaches to various parts of the body? In order to understand that, you can see, use this flow chart. Okay, all of you go through this flow chart. Fatty acid and glycerol absorbed by the lacteals. Actually, that is in the lymph, means branches of the lymph capillaries. Then that is divided into small lymph ducts. Then it is again divided into large lymph ducts that is connected to the vena cava. That vena cava carries this fatty acid, glycerol, etc. into the heart. These vena cava are superior vena cava and inferior vena cava that we have studied. So, how the fatty acid and glycerol absorbed by the lacteals reaches to the heart through lacteals, that is again it is divided into small lymph ducts, again large lymph ducts, then that connects to the vena cava, then it reaches to the heart. Along with the blood circulatory system, the circulation of lymph also takes place that we have studied already. The lymph formed from blood passes through lymph duct and returns to blood near the heart. In addition to lymph, yes, what are the parts consists of lymphatic system? In addition to lymph, the lymphatic system consists of, see, go through this picture, then you will be able to understand more clearly. It consists of the lymphatics, lymph capillaries, lymph duct, see, small lymph duct, large lymph duct, lymph nodes. Here you can see the lymph nodes and spleen. What is the role of the spleen and lymph nodes? This spleen and lymph nodes plays major role in defending disease causing germs. How is this possible? Do you know the largest organ of the immune system or lymphatic system is spleen because it consists of lymphocytes. Actually, that lymphocytes identify and destroy pathogenic bacteria and viruses that enter the body. Actually, the spleen is considered as the military camp or armory of the body. It is because they are responsible for the immune system. Okay. Mainly, this spleen consists of two types of tissues. One is red pulp and the other one is white pulp cells. Red pulp tissues filter and remove old and damaged RBCs present in the blood. Similarly, the reusable components in it, like iron, etc., are protected. While white pulp cells store T cells and B cells, which are the main components of the immune system. So, in order to understand, based on your syllabus in the textbook, it is given as extra reading. Please read it and try to understand more about it. Then next is about the health of heart. Have you heard about atherosclerosis? See, it is a condition in which accumulation of fat in the arterial wall takes place due to consumption of excess fatty food. What happens? So that the inner diameter of the artery reduces. Arterial wall lost elasticity and may rupture and also that become rough. So RBC may clump together to form clot in the coronary vessels. That may result heart attack. So fat to a villain if it is excess. September 29th we celebrate as World Heart Day. In nine Do you know the name of doctor who initiated transplanting heart? Actually, organ donation and transplantation is not a breaking news today. There are records of transplantation of skin parts done in India during BC 200. Then first heart transplantation is done by a Russian doctor, that is Demikov. In the year 1946, the first heart transplantation surgery was initiated by transplanting a dog's heart by Demikov, a Russian doctor. What about humans? That is in the year 1967, under the leadership of Christian Bernard in South Africa. Even though the patient survived only for 18 days, it was a great beginning. But in the year 1994, Dr. P. Venugopal and team repeated the success at All India Institute of Medical Science, New Delhi. Heart transplantation is done worldwide nowadays. Moving forward, in 1982, under the leadership of Robert Jarvik and Johann Koch, another milestone was created in the field of medical science by transplanting artificial heart in place of a diseased heart. Okay, students, while concluding the topic, we have studied about, once again, remember what all things we have studied: water circulation, heartbeat, pulse, blood pressure, formation of tissue fluid, formation of lymph, importance of the lymphatic system, and the health of the heart, and about World Health Day, and the last content, heart transplantation and artificial heart. Okay, students, that's all about today's class. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.